Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. So we continue back with our digestive system chapter. So this morning we stop at stomach. Okay. So the process of food digestion start from mouth, esophagus, stomach, and then followed by small intestine. Okay. So I think we more or less stop here, right, at the gastric emptying. Among the three type of foods, carbohydrate will be emptied first, followed by protein, and fats take the longest time to leave the stomach. So kalau kita take a meal consists of these three class of foods. So carbohydrate will be enter a small intestine first, followed by protein and fat. Okay. So when the food enter the small intestine, actually small intestine got three different region. Okay, the first part of small intestine is known as duodenum. Okay, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So in the duodenum, there will be bile yang dirembeskan oleh gallbladder. Actually liver yang synthesize bile, and bile akan disimpan di dalam gallbladder. So bile will be secreted to chyme, to the food, untuk fat digestion. Okay. And also dalam small intestine, particularly in duodenum, there is pancreatic juice. Okay. Pancreatic juice di mana di dalam secretion tersebut, pancreatic juice hello. Okay, sorry for disturbance. So I repeat back. In the small intestine there are many types of secretion. Ada banyak rembesan. First daripada liver ataupun gallbladder. Second daripada pancreas. Okay, pancreas akan rembeskan pancreatic juice yang digunakan enzyme. Dalam pancreatic juice there are many enzymes for carbo, protein, and fats uh, uh, digestion. Okay, and also dekat duodenum also, dia punya epithelial cell also secrete enzyme for next process of digestion. Okay. Okay, if you look at this figure, kalau you tengok, this is uh, the surface of small intestine. Okay, dia ada villi. Okay, villi ni uh, dia ada epithelial cell dekat surface dia. So dekat surface ni, okay, dia ada many function. Satu, epithelial cell dia akan secrete enzyme untuk next process of digestion, and also villi also provide larger surface area untuk absorption. Okay, untuk absorption of nutrient. Alright. Okay, next figure, kalau you tengok kat sini, this is the gallbladder di mana bile is stored, storage of bile dekat sini. Actually bile is synthesized in liver. So from the liver liver akan secrete bile and then will be stored in the gallbladder when it is needed. For example, after you take a meal, so this one akan dirembeskan ke dalam small intestine untuk proses untuk digest the food. Okay. So SI refer to small intestine. Okay, small intestine secretion. Okay, this secretion usually produced by the SI about 1 to 2 liters per day. Okay, and biasanya secretion of intestinal juice, small intestinal juice, uh, triggered by bila chyme tu masuk small intestine. Bila chyme tu daripada stomach masuk dalam small intestine, dia akan meregangkan, okay, distension of small intestine wall. So dia akan stimulate SI secretion, and also irritation of small intestine mucosa, sebab kan daripada stomach bila dia masuk dalam small intestine, dia a little bit acidic, so dia akan trigger ataupun stimulate small intestine secretion. Okay, so dalam small intestine secretion there are three types of enzymes secreted: disaccharidase, peptidase, lipase. Okay, so disaccharidase dia akan digest breakdown disaccharide into monosaccharide. Peptidase further breakdown polypeptide into amino acid. Lipase fat into glycerol and fatty acids. Okay. So still dalam small intestine, another organ which is pancreas also involved dalam breakdown of food. Okay, pancreatic juice will cater enzyme that act on lipid, carbo and protein. Di mana dia ada second time of breakdown. Okay, tadi daripada small intestine itself, and now by the pancreatic juice. Okay, so protease enzyme, okay, for example trypsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase will act on protein, further break down the protein nutrient. Okay, and pancreatic amylase will break down all carbohydrates into glucose. And then pancreatic lipase, okay, same thing. So dia akan kalau you notice, dia ada lebih daripada satu kali process of breakdown of foods or class of foods. Okay, and also in the pancreas there is pancreatic nucleus that break down nucleic acid. Okay, so a little bit information on liver. Liver is the largest visceral organ. Okay, visceral organ means soft organ dalam human body. So the function that relate to this system is here. Okay, whereby here it aids in digestion, di mana liver dia synthesize and secrete bile. So bile will be stored in the gallbladder. So bile, this is the the two function of bile. Satu, they emulsify the fats. We need to say from large size of fat into smaller droplets. So when it is broken down into smaller droplets, there will be larger surface area to allow for lipase act more effectively on the fats. Okay. Okay. As I told in the early slides, the main site for nutrient absorption take place in at the small intestine. So in small intestine, there are two important events take place: digestion, and absorption. Okay. So this is just recall back from the previous slide. So in the small intestine, adanya bile and also adanya digestive enzyme secreted by small intestine, okay, pancreas and liver. Okay. Okay, so in the small intestine, there are two types of uh, small intestine motility. Dia punya contraction, same like the one in stomach, segmentation and peristalsis. Same thing. Segmentation refer to the local contraction of the muscle, meaning to say dia just nak mix the kind with the enzyme involved. If peristalsis, the contraction yang leads kepada moving forward of chyme to the next part of GIT. So kalau dalam small intestine, daripada duodenum dia move kepada jejunum and then ileum. Okay, so from ileum dia akan masuk kepada large intestine. Okay. So for peristalsis, it needs time for digestion and absorption. Segmentation dia berlaku, dia punya proses melibatkan local contraction, lebih kepada uh, what I can make it simplify, mungkin dia lebih kepada getaran lah untuk make sure berlakunya mixing between enzymes and food yang telah diproses dalam bentuk chyme. Okay, I think starting from this slide, okay, you will see the summary of how carbohydrate, protein, and fats being broken down. Okay, okay, we start first with carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, dia punya first place bermulanya digestion adalah dekat dia punya mulut. So amylase from saliva akan start to break down the carbohydrate. And then dekat stomach dia tak ada, okay. Dia start balik apa ni carbohydrate digestion dekat small intestine, which is enzyme from pancreas. Okay. So the ultimate goal for carbohydrate digestion or breakdown is to produce CHO, glucose. Okay, the main target of carbohydrate breakdown is to produce glucose. Okay, cellulose is considered as also carbohydrate, but our body, human body, don't have a cellulose enzyme to digest or to break down the cellulose. Kalau you tengok ruminant animal, for example, cows and goats, uh, the animals got a cellulose enzyme whereby they can digest cellulose carbohydrate. That's why they can eat, they can get nutrient from grass, for example. Kalau kita human, kita makan ulam sebagai fiber, di mana kita tak boleh ambil, kita tak dapat nutrient daripada uh, uh, kita tak dapat uh, apa ni sumber tenaga daripada memakan sayur-sayuran. Kita hanya ambil fiber. Okay. So cellulose will be passed to the large intestine to be excreted out as feces ataupun najis. Okay. So for carbohydrate that break down into simple sugar ataupun glucose, dia akan diserap melalui intestinal mucosa of small intestine. Okay, for protein, the first digestion process berlaku dekat stomach. di mana the protein will be broken down into smaller polypeptide by pepsin. Okay, by pepsin. So daripada protein dia dipecah kepada smaller polypeptide. Dia bukan lagi belum lagi dipecahkan kepada uh, amino acid. Okay, and then stomach is the first place. Second place for protein digestion is in the small intestine by the action of trypsin and chymotrypsin, enzyme secreted by pancreas. Okay, di mana trypsin and chymotrypsin further break down polypeptide into smaller fragment, lagi kecil. Still tak uh, hasilkan amino acid. Okay, until protein catabolized by this kind of enzyme, carboxypeptidase and peptidase. Then amino acid will be produced. Okay. So untuk protein, uh, first first location adalah stomach, second small intestine. Tapi dekat small intestine untuk protein dia ada two different events. Satu trypsin and chymotrypsin, uh, okay, and then complete protein digestion act by carboxypeptidase and peptidase. Okay, and then the product of amino acid and also glucose will travel to liver. Dia akan pergi ke liver melalui saluran hepatic portal vein. Okay, hepatic portal vein. Kalau you tengok dekat diagram ni, you can see hepatic portal vein dekat sini. Okay. So if let's say this is small intestine, okay, small intestine, the absorption of the nutrient will be through this vein. Dia akan pergi dulu kepada liver untuk detoxification. And then daripada liver dia melalui hepatic vein, dia akan pergi ke vena cava. So vena cava dekat jantung, dia akan pump to the rest of body yang perlukan food ataupun energy for movement. Okay. And last but not least, the third class of food is fat. So fat, first dia akan melalui proses emulsification to provide more surface area so that enzyme can act more effective on the fats. Okay. So actually bila fat and bila fat telah fat is broken down into two fatty acid and one glycerol. Okay, two fatty acid and one glycerol. So fat is used for, as I mentioned earlier, for energy and also for heat production. Okay, heat production. Okay, actually the word Michelle kat sini bermaksud bila fat is broken down into free fatty acid and glyceride, they will interact with bisalt to form micelle. So micelle ni dia akan lebih tambahkan lagi dia punya solubility untuk absorption. Solubility ni level of apa ni chances untuk dia absorb. The higher solubility, the better chances for fat to be absorbed. Okay. And then for micronutrient seperti vitamin and mineral, including water, for vitamin there are two kategori of vitamin. Satu, fat soluble vitamin, okay, vitamin larut lemak, iaitu vitamin A, D, E, K, adik. Will be absorbed by the help of lipids. Okay, for water soluble vitamin, which is vitamin B and C, dia akan absorb bersama dengan air. Kecuali vitamin B12, dia memerlukan bantuan intrinsic factor untuk dia diabsorb. Okay, so dia menggunakan kaedah endocytosis. Kaedah lebih kurang sama dengan phagocytosis lah. Okay, but for your level, if you want to know in detail, you can read further. Uh, for this stage, just enough for you to know that vitamin, there are two types of vitamin: fat soluble vitamin, water soluble vitamin. Vitamin B, C is water soluble vitamin that will be absorbed together with water, except for vitamin B12 where dia diabsorb melalui kaedah endocytosis. Endo means dia kalau you refer kepada slide phagocytosis, dia ada macam loop, pembentukan loop dekat dinding basement membrane. So dia akan masuk melalui pembentukan pembentukan apa ni, entity daripada basement membrane. Okay. Nanti you boleh baca lah. Okay. If you are not clear about that, then come to see me. Okay, for electrolyte, including water as usual absorb through osmosis process, iaitu daripada kepekatan tinggi kepada kepekatan rendah. Okay. Sodium and calcium, dia menggunakan kaedah active transport, whereby active transport ni maksudnya daripada kepekatan tinggi, daripada pekatan rendah kepada pekatan tinggi. So dia menggunakan energy. So if let's say sodium and chloride dalam small intestine is low, so dia perlu extra energy untuk pump daripada small intestine to blood. Okay, kalau potassium, K, potassium dia menggunakan kaedah passive diffusion, iaitu daripada kepekatan tinggi dalam small intestine ke kepekatan rendah. Okay, passive. Passive means not using energy. Alright. We stop here, take 5, before we proceed to the large intestine.